For Hype Plus News, I'm John Abba. In the 90s, Jada Pinkett Smith would find herself as one of Hollywood's leading black women with roles like Menace to Society, A Different World, Inkwell, Jason's Lyric, Low Down Dirty Shame, The Nutty Professor, and the classic Set It Off. Smith's pint-sized, great looks, and authoritative presence would win over viewers. Now in 1997, Jada's profile would reach new heights when she would walk down the aisle with leading man Will Smith in December of that year. You couldn't say she didn't have it all. She would marry who many claim was the biggest superstar of his generation and had a loving family most women wanted, along with a career to back it up. Thanks to her very public friendship with the late Tupac Shakur, Jada would fall into good graces even more with the black community, who since after Tupac's passing would remain thirsty for new information about the icon. However, in recent times, Pinkett Smith has found herself at the center of controversies and has in time become hated. But how did we get here? What turned off our love for this strong black woman into an annoyance and discomfort with her presence? Here's why Jada Pinkett Smith became hated. While growing up in Baltimore, Jada would cross paths with a fellow Baltimore School for the Arts student named Tupac Shakur. Their friendship would become talked about for many years to come, as both would go on to have highly acclaimed careers. Shakur would take his edge to the top of the hip-hop world, where bravado-ness remained king, and Smith would take her own sense of braveness to Hollywood. Her Baltimore not backing down attitude for some became a subtle reason why she became hard to embrace as a female entertainer. You see, one of the biggest things that helps a star or influencer succeed is likability. Do they seem approachable? Do they seem fun? Do they make you comfortable? And for stars who are women, the expectation attached is even higher. And this is what Jada finds herself struggling with over the years. People tend to like women a certain way, more supportive and less masculine. Now in 1997, Jada would display that she too can lead like men as a guest speaker at the 1997 Million Woman March in Philadelphia. While there, she would showcase her more masculine demeanor and even added to the assumption that she was a feminist.
This is how you should feel every day of your existence. And then you'll have the power to teach your men how to love you. Your men need you. They need us. You need two people, a man and a woman, to create a God in your home.
Years later, Pinkett Smith would address the feminist rumors on her online show, Red Table Talk. One of the reasons why I have such a difficult time with the feminist movement, why I don't call myself a feminist and I call myself a womanist instead, is because of the history of the feminist movement. Now, despite the clarification, outspoken women have never rubbed people the right way in the world of history.
Fight the real enemy.
Now back to her relationship with Tupac. Despite being close, many have always been unclear as to why Jada and the All Eyes on Me rapper never became an item. In a recent interview while promoting her book Worthy, Smith would finally share why she and Pac never became romantic. According to her, they didn't have any romantic chemistry.
Has there ever been a time that you regretted the decision that you made not to take it to that level with him and to keep it in the friendship space?
It just wasn't possible. There was no chemistry between us. I talk about it in the book.
That's so hard. I know, but it's just so hard to imagine. Because at the time, he was in a bad, he was in a space where, he was in jail and all that. But it's just hard to believe that we see chemistry with the two of you guys. Even in the videos you guys dance, and there seems to be so much chemistry. But from your perspective,
chemistry, it's that friendship, love chemistry. Trust me. Let me tell you, don't think that Pac and I, like I write in the book, we had those moments, and I wish I could get people to understand the repelling nature. It was almost like God made us that way. It was like, look, I'm gonna put y'all together, all right? Y'all gonna be a dynamic duo. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna make it so. Y'all not gonna be able to get together, because that just wasn't the purpose.
She would even go on to confirm in a separate interview that at one point Pac wanted to propose to her, and with her own admission would share that he probably would have divorced her right away.
When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers.
And I knew at that time that he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was gonna do anyway. He didn't have to marry me to do time, right? I'm here. Because I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail.
Her relationship with powerful men appears to be quietly at the focus as to why she rubs the public the wrong way. Who wouldn't throw themselves at Tupac, and who wouldn't be submissive to the iconic Will Smith? And it's this relationship with Smith in recent years that has put her at the top of the charts as to being one of the most hated celebrities. When Will Smith first started dating Jada, he was at the top of the world as a world-famous rapper and breakout star with his own series of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and newest film franchise Bad Boys. Despite being who he is to the world, Jada hasn't for some showed that she too adores Will with them. Her biggest example over the years is what many have felt is her stronger love and attention for Tupac. The assumption of who would think or discuss another man when you go home to Will Smith. Her connection alone to Tupac would create tension with some of Smith's fans. Last year, assumptions that Jada loved Tupac more than her husband Will would gain attention again when a letter allegedly written by their daughter Willow Smith would circulate online. In the alleged letter, Willow writes, "Dear Tupac, I know you're alive someplace. I think that my mommy really misses you. Can you please come back? Can you come back so mommy and me can be happy? I wish you were here. I really do. Love, Willow." For some, this would confirm that Jada wasn't fully happy with Will and projected that Will wasn't enough for her compared to Tupac. In 2018, Jada would launch the Red Table Talk series, a part of Facebook's push for original programming. The series, hosted by Jada, Willow, and her mother, gave fans an inside look into the lives of one of Hollywood's most talked about couples and families, and would hopefully clear up rumors. This is where we would hear more about Jada's relationship with Will that didn't meet assumptions. The biggest reveal would be when Jada would share that she had a relationship with R&B singer August Alsina while her and Will took a break. Many took issue with seeing their superhero get replaced by a younger man with less of a career in comparison. And to further hurt Will Smith's leading man image, Jada would agree to have him on her show to showcase her dominance even further by confidently discussing it with Will for millions to see, tying back to her not treating Will with the same level of adornment you would want the wife of Will Smith to have for him. As things would spiral into the headlines, instead of showcasing any direct accountability, Jada would appearingly gaslight those interested in the truth with spiritual quotes and colloquialisms. This display of toxic spirituality would be one of her biggest complaints, as it triggers some people of the dishonesty that they have seen from others who use spiritual practices to not attach themselves directly to accountability. As recent, one of the biggest reasons why she's hated continues to be directly connected to her relationship with Will Smith. In 2022, Will would shock the world by violently reacting to a joke from Chris Rock at the expense of Jada during the Oscars. Smith would charge to the stage and confront Rock after making a joke about Jada's lack of hair. For many, this would be a time she would have shown the expected supportive role for Will. But when it was seen that she didn't make any attempt to stop her husband from rushing the stage and failed to console him after, put her criticism even more into the spotlight. After the incident took over headlines, Jada would respond with more colloquialisms and even failed to directly defend her husband. Instead, she would hold Will accountable and express that he overreacted, despite him attempting to come to her defense. You see, most of the hate Jada receives appears to be directly connected to her relationship with men the world sees as kings. For many, it appears that Jada doesn't treat Will as the world sees him. He has been our superhero for decades, and we want to see our superhero with someone who reassures our feelings as to why we see them as superheroes. Time and time again, Pinkett Smith has shown to treat this hero as if he was below average, and in the process has made herself the villain.
You know Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me.
Oh my goodness.
If you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just...
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start roll. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.